G'day everybody, thanks for stopping by. Today's video is going to be reasonably quick, and today we're talking about these little fog spotlights that were sent out to me for the purpose of review from COlight. Now these are 96 watts a pair. Input voltage can be anything from 9 to 30 volts, so if you wanted to stick these on your truck, they'll take a 24 volt input. 96,000 lumens a pair. Working temperature minus 40 to 85 degrees, so you can use these in freezing temps. IP68 waterproof rated, so I'm going to have no issues driving these through water or mud or anything like that. So they are a 4-inch wide and they are a 48 watt per unit. So basically consider them basically 50 watts, so 100 watts for the pair, 96 to be exact. They use a Cree chip. They tend to market these for the ATVs and that sort of stuff. So if you've got, or motorbikes, they have lights that are specifically made for attaching to your motorbikes as well. So if you need to improve the lighting on your motorbike, if you've got like an adventure or something like that, you might consider something like this, because this would be a nice addition. Now they are $70 off Amazon. Put a link in the description down below where you can find these if you're interested in those. I was talking to Yang probably about a week ago. We've been talking for a few weeks. We finally nutted out what they wanted to send out to me. And when I pulled the trigger on these and said, yep, these ones please, it took them about a week, less than a week I think it was, for these to turn up to my door to Newcastle in New South Wales. On Amazon, there's 96 ratings, and they're a 4.6 out of 5. Most people are saying, you know, brighter than I expected, definitely buy again, etc, etc. So I would have liked them to probably be a flood, and I'm not entirely sure. I've had a look, I've seen the white ones definitely come in the flood, but I'm not entirely sure whether the yellow ones come in the flood or not. If I can find it, I'll go and do a bit more research online. I'll put it up on the screen whether they come in a flood as well. These ones are definitely a spot. I can tell you that for sure. Obviously you can see I've already fitted into the pajero. I haven't gone for the drive just yet, but we'll do that soon enough, and you'll get to see that in this video too. Now COlight's an online Chinese seller, but I think they hold stock in Australia. So whilst they're a Chinese retailer, online retailer, I think they're actually sent out an Australian warehouse, because like I said, they got these to me once I pulled the trigger on them in about a week. Might have been a little bit less than a week, so they come out to me really quick. But that was through Amazon, and I do have Amazon Prime. But with the COVID thing, I've been ordering stuff online. When I ordered the batteries and stuff from Alibaba, it took about 6 weeks. So I think this must have come from a local warehouse. Don't quote me on that though. Let's jump in, give you a quick look at the COlights, and I'll show you them installed. I'll take it for a drive and we'll see how they look. Cool. I don't know if you can see that. TNT truck, I think that's for us. Now that's either going to be our BMS or it's going to be some lights that we're getting sent out for a review. Let me go and have a look. Yeah, mate. And it's taped up to the hilt. So look, I guess we've got some other stuff to do today. It might be the lights, you know. I don't think it is. I think it's the BMS. It is our lights. Alright. These are COlight. Reached out and said, you know, we've got some lights. Do you want to do a review on them? I said, sure, why not? And I don't know, I thought they were going to be the standard Chinese brand. I thought, oh yeah, it's just usual Chinese stuff. It did have some stuff on there that looked a little bit interesting. I was under the impression that they were sending me some specific lights that they wanted me to have a look at, and then they sort of said have a look at the other stuff and see what you want to pick and what you want to do a review of. And I said these ones, I want the yellow ones. I was under the impression that I was getting the white ones, which were a spot, and they were also going to send me something that I was interested in, which I picked the yellow ones. I'm alright with that, because I don't know about you, but I reckon these look awesome. I think these look choice. Because I've been driving to work and been getting a lot of fog, and I've actually wanted to put some fog lights onto the pajero. So that was why I went with the yellow ones. When I took the bull bar off, the fog lights were in the front there, and I've still got the fog light switch still connected up, and I've still got the harness down the front. So what I think I can do is wire these up directly to that fog light switch and have these work. They're still going to be on the bull bar somewhere. But yeah, I don't know about you, but you know, they seem to be really solid, and you know, you're looking at these just the same as I am. Because I was expecting the white ones, I've actually ordered some bonnet mounts. I was going to put them on the front there like the Jeep and have them pointed out to the side, but now I've got the yellow ones. I'm probably not going to use those bonnet mounts. Put these down on the bull bar somewhere, and then we'll have some fog lights on the pajero. There's some holes already pre-drilled here, and that harness for the pre-existing fog lights is just under there. So All this is nice and solid. You can see how thick this little bracket is. That it's obviously some aluminium. I'm going to say this is air grade aluminium, which I think is the standard catchphrase. See how thick those little brackets are, and you can see how solid these are. I've got to tell you, and it's early days yet. I've just got them. We haven't fitted them up. I'm just playing around here on the front of the pajero trying to figure out where to put them, but they look well sealed. I love those lenses. Those lenses look excellent. They do appear to be well sealed at the back. Nice thick cable on them. Like I found with a lot of LED lights, they underrate. You know, you have really thin wires on them, but this, you know, they're giving you good length. That's probably, I don't know, 30 centimeters. So you've got 12 inches of that. And if these hold up like I'm expecting them to or hoping them to, I'm going to go and buy the white variant of this in a spot or a flood. I don't know yet, because I've already ordered the mounting brackets for the bonnet so I can put them up on the bonnet. In addition to these, you can buy the wiring harness with the switch, and it looks a lot better than that King's crap that you get here in Australia. Obviously, it's all the quality of the packing that come in, and as long as the product's good, I'm happy as a pig in it. Oh, one thing they did have that I was really interested in, and I don't think I can push the friendship this far, is they've got some really nice laser driving lights. You know, the ones with the LEDs around the outside and then the laser center, similar to the King's ones and a whole bunch of other ones. They had those. They're about $700, so obviously I couldn't push the friendship that hard. I've been really happy with the LED stuff, the eBay stuff that I've got. Now these were around about $105. These are bloody brilliant. I couldn't be happier with these. Again, link down in the description where I picked these up. And this is a Sunny light bar. Now as far as COlight goes, if you get something that's not working or something like that, I don't know. I haven't obviously had the experience of aftermarket with them. I was driving to work the other day, and it's you know, down a very long, dark country sort of road. One of the boys was travelling behind me in a car, and I turned all these lights on. And when we turned up at work, they went, "Oh, we didn't realise that was you. Jesus Christ, what have you got on the front of the car?" It lit it up like it was daylight. So, eBay stuff, $105. I think this probably cost me about $120. Been really happy with that combination. Now the other good news, other than having some help while I'm down here, is that because these holes are already here, with the original bumper that I had, it had fog lights in it. This Pajero is a GLS, so it's a base model, but they had the sports pack added, which gives me the 18-inch wheels, a bunch of other things, and one of the other things that it gave me was the fog lights. Now the good news is there, that just up under there somewhere, I'm going to have to find it, but I still have the light harness, the harness for the original switch for the original headlights. So obviously they would have been a halogen light, which means that harness is going to be more than capable of powering both of these LED lights. All I need to do is just mount these, find that harness, jump into that with both sides, and we're good to go. and we're good to go. It should work off our original fog light switch, which is on the dash. So happy days. I'm really happy that these holes are down the bottom. That winch is making things a little bit tight. And the 11XP something or other, 11XP heavy duty or something it was that I went with. As everybody else, haven't really had to use it in anger. I've used it for a few other things. One of the things was pulling a big stump out of a mate's yard. Have a look at that there. So what do you think? Do you like those there? Are you happy? From a fitment perspective, I couldn't be happier. It doesn't get any easier than that, frankly. Fortunately for you guys, it means I'm not going to have to wire up a relay, and I'm not going to have to wire up a harness, and I'm not going to have to show you how to pull wire through the car and all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to go digging up under here somewhere for that harness, and then I'm just going to crimp those, and then I'm just going to solder those in. Tighten up those bolts and we're done. Like, the only concern I have, and this is not a issue with the lights itself, is they're fairly deep and there's plenty of movement in that bracket. We can turn it left and right, up and down, and tilt them. The only challenge I have is that because they're so deep, I think they're sort of tilting up a little bit, so I'm not sure how much spread we're going to get sort of down in front of the vehicle, but I think they're going to be okay. As long as we take that wire straight up, they do sit fairly flush and flat, but I don't know whether they are angled up ever so slightly, and there's not much I can do to get them tilted down, but I think that's going to be enough. I think that's going to be okay. We can get that to go down and through there. That'll be okay, and we're going to have to go up underneath, but that'll be the other way. We'll put, just watch this bracket. You can see how much movement there is in that. You watch how much that actually bends while we're tightening this up. See how much that starts to bow in, because it's a little bit wide and there's a bit of extra movement there, but no biggie. So we just need to tighten that one up the back there. Actually, before we button everything up, let's do a quick test. Always a good idea before you start tightening everything up, it's just to give it a quick test, make sure it works, because then if it doesn't, you have to pull everything apart again. And I got to tell you, I'm loving those. I do have a little bit out to the side, so we'll go for a drive and we'll check out the beam pattern. We'll do the usual trick, and we'll check out the beam pattern on those. How good's that? Now, I don't know about you, but I reckon that looks shit hot. The funny thing is, I spend all my time changing over to LED lights to try and get rid of the yellow. And you know what I mean, if you change over to LED lights, you don't want any of the old halogen stuff. So I've changed the light globes to LED, links and everything down in the description, video up the top if you want to see those. Changed all the lights to LED, changed the low beams, changed the high beams. The driving lights that I had, they were halogen, so we went over to LED with those. We've obviously got the white LED, it's all cool white. Now I've gone and thrown some bloody yellow lights on the front of the car. So I love it. And you'll see that if I turn the headlights off, and then turn the headlights back on, the fogs don't come on. So if I've been driving in the fog and I pull up somewhere and I turn them off, and then go back and get in the car and turn them back on, the fogs aren't going to come on. So I need to physically, turn them on. But that's the smarts that's part of the Pajero, not part of the lights. I was a little bit curious to see whether I could actually put those on with the high beams, so that works fine. Now I did think I was getting a little bit of flicker out of that left one. I've turned the high beam off, it seems to have sorted itself out. And I'm getting a little bit of flicker out of this one over here. Imagining that surely. I'm not sure whether that's coming out on camera or not. I think that changes when I turn the high beams off. So that only seems to happen when I've got the high beam on. I'm wondering if that's something from the interference from the other LED lights, whether it's the LED lights in that, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm not going to put that down as a COlight issue, because I don't know what's causing that at this point. But Yang, if you've got any input, if you want to send out another one or something as a replacement for that one, and I can fit it and we'll see whether it does the same. I don't know. I'm not asking you to do that, mate, but if that's something you want to do, that's fair enough. At this stage I'm getting interference on this one only, not that one. So I don't know why that is. I like the way they look. I like how solid they are. I like the brackets. I'm liking everything about them at the moment, providing they keep working. Looking forward to the dark tonight, and I'll actually take it for a run and we'll show you them in the dark. There's a couple of things that are necessities for me in a review, and I hate it when people do reviews and they don't do this. You know who I'm talking about? They do a review where they don't physically show you the product, they just talk about it like they're just reading it off the side of the manual or they found something online. And two, they don't use the product in the review and they don't show me in action. So the next thing you'll see of these, it'll be me and Titan taking a drive up to our usual light test spot, and we'll check out the beam pattern on these and we'll see whether we need to adjust them, we'll see whether we can get them to the right height, and we'll just see how they work. With the white ones, whilst I was going to have a play with them, I was going to do the review, I've ordered the bonnet mount, so I was going to put them up on the bonnet, and I thought that would have been pretty cool, something different on the Pajero, but ultimately it would have just been for shits and giggles and a bit of fun. The yellow ones were the ones that I asked for, if given the option, because I thought I had the option of choosing something else, not just solely. That's why I went with these yellow ones, because these were going to be practical for me for being able to stick them on the front of the Pajero just like this. I wasn't sure where I was going to put them, but I knew I could use fog lights in the yellow because that was something that I was missing on the Pajero, and that was why I chose the yellow one. So Yang, 2 thumbs up, mate. Thanks very much for obviously reaching out in the first place, but thanks for sending me out the yellow ones, which I actually requested, because these are the ones that are going to be the biggest benefit to me, and I think are going to get the most use on the Pajero. Certainly driving backwards to forwards in work in the fog. So when it does get foggy, and I do get around to test them out, I'll stick it in a follow-up video later on. I don't want to fight with you. No, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to fight with you. Beam pattern is excellent. It is definitely a spot. They are a little bit brighter than the main beam. They may be just a little bit bright for road use. I'm not entirely sure. I guess time will tell if anybody starts to flash me when I'm driving to work in the fog and I've got these on. See there that I've actually realised that I can run these with just the parkers on. I can run those without the headlights. So if I have the parkers on, I can turn the fogs on and run them basically as the headlights, which is a nice option, which is what I wanted. So really happy with that. So there you go, that's the COlight LED pod lights, and at this stage I'm really happy with those. I like the way they look on the front of the Pajero. I think they look pretty mean. Obviously with LED lights, and especially stuff that comes from China, longevity is, I guess, a bit of an unknown, so we'll see how these track. We'll see if they keep working, and if something changes in the future, I will let you know. I couldn't possibly be happier with how they fitted up, how they look, and how easy the job was to do. So anyway, thanks very much for stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.